Well, good morning or good evening, wherever you are. Um, while I'm recuperating, mm, laying here reminiscing with my dog on one side, and I've got the other one that's wandering. He's wandering through the house. That would be my little white puffball Merlet. And I have my little wiener dog, Brian, who is attached at my hip, as usual. I thought I might tell some stories and just really just reminiscing. I have nothing else to do and I'm bored. And when I'm bored, I can get into trouble, as we all know. So instead of that, I thought I would uh, just share some memories. And I got my husband a really expensive pen, a Mont Blanc. And it's not one of the fountain tip or the calligraphy pens. It's uh, it's a Star Walker, and it's like an executive PM to sign documents and things like that. But someone in the chat and on Twitter had mentioned that they had always wanted to do calligraphy and they were looking at pens because the pen I got him it was rather expensive, and you know I was proud to be able to get it for him. And but she said that she'd wanted to do calligraphy, and she was surprised that Marley, get down now. He's peeking on the table. Get down now. I'm gonna get you, you little bugger. Um, when I'm busy, he starts looking. But anyway, she was talking about she didn't realize that there were so many pens, and the range of prices, and I said, get you a book and get you a small set and practice. She has a Bible that she wants to do her own calligraphy in. And I said, do it. I said, you can learn. I always try to encourage people to learn new things. We all should, Lord, I've been so bored in the last years. I've gone through everything. I've been reading about doing a lot of things, and I'm trying to learn new things, but I haven't done as much as I should, and that's just the truth. But anyway, so we were talking about calligraphy, and that reminded me of my mother. Um, And I've talked about my mother off and on. Mom Mom and I are a lot alike. And we laugh about it and then we fuss about it. And I'm like that with my daughter. We are so much alike. And my grandmother that I took care of, we were a lot alike. So you got four generations. So we're pretty unique people, but you love us or hate us. We can be a real pain in the patootie. So anyway, I remember mom. Excuse me. She was always artistic. When I was little, for kindergarten and middle school, she would be doing our poster boards for like the PTA, and she could draw anything, and she didn't paint and or anything like that because she didn't have time. My mom worked full time. My mom was well, my mom still is. I keep saying was. She's not dead yet. Thankfully. Although she is very sick from the COVID-19. She's at home. She's recovering. She and dad both, but thankfully. But she uh she worked full time, so she didn't have a lot of spare time. But what she did, she would she would do her poster board. She would do like flyers that they ran off on the mimeograph, or this was before. before the photocopier. And when they had that, she was the one that, did all the stuff for the school, for volunteer, and for the hospital where she worked. Anything artistic, they went to mom. And it was just, Fran will do it. And she did, and she always did it well, and she took great pride in it. And I was proud of her for doing it. When you have a parent with a talent, no matter what it is, whether it's music or art or, you know, whatever, you, as a child, you take, you're proud of them. And my mom could do calligraphy, and she taught herself, and she did it so well. And she had a special set of pens that I was told I was not allowed to touch. And she taught me a little bit, but not like she could do. I was nowhere near as good as she was. And she did my graduation invitations and wedding invitations. And, but she also did. My mom was president of the Junior Women's Club so many times. It's because there weren't a lot. I mean, there was a certain group of women that just they kept being. They were president over and over again because it was a lot of work, and there were only so many women that would take on that task. Well, you know, mom was one of them, and she was in many other women's clubs and different organizations, and Eastern Star. We're all in Eastern Star, and and she has, and now she's in the national organization, Eastern Star, but she and Dad both, of course, and but she always did the artistic things, and I was always so proud of her. But her calligraphy, even her handwriting, is like art. It's beautiful. The way she signs her name, I can't, I look like, because of my rheumatoid arthritis, when I sign something, it looks like a big old scribble. You can't even read it. It's terrible. And it's because my knuckles are all swollen up. But so I couldn't do calligraphy now if I wanted to. But she always had the most beautiful handwriting, and she still does. And but she always, I mean, she would get her pens out, and she would sit at the kitchen table, and she would have her lines, marked underneath so she could follow them. And I remember just watching. I would sit and watch, and those pens would just swoop, back and forth and do the curls. And there are videos, ASMR videos on YouTube, and I've watched them. And it reminds me of sitting beside my mother and watching her do that. But, and watching her draw. But that's the story of my mother and how artistic she was. And I wish that she had had time. Now she's older, she's retired. She goes shopping, and she does when she's not sick. She's been really sick. But now she goes and shops and does things with all her friends, and so she keeps herself busy, and she's in many different clubs and organizations and stuff like that. They're big in Eastern Star, and so she's on the go a lot. This COVID has about killed her. Because when you're someone that's on the go, like I've always been on the go, and when you're sick and you're stuck at home, drives you nuts. But it's I wish that she would paint or draw, because she is so talented. And I don't think I've ever mentioned that on my channel. But I'd love for her to do that. And I don't know, that might be a good gift to give to her is, an art set, a nice art set, and the pens, and some good paper, good sketchbooks, because she's got the talent. And when you've got a natural gift, it never goes away. But I tease mom that she can't cook, but except for a couple of things that she just blows out of the water. But let me tell you, my mom is very artistically talented, and those are beautiful memories that I have from childhood. Watching her do that. But Onyx, thank you for bringing up calligraphy this morning, and thank you for giving me a chance to you know think about mom and her artwork and all the things that she did with it. As I was growing up, and as I've been an adult, you know, she's still done it. I can see I can see her work in many different places in my hometown. You know, so that's just a little story. I hope I've entertained some people. We all get tired of the drama and the different things that are negative on there. I thought I'd I thought I'd do something a little bit different. Tell a story and maybe bring a smile to somebody's face. And Mama, if you're listening, I know you listen to most of everything that's on I put on here, even when I'm arguing. But I hope you hear this, and I hope you smile too. All right, y'all have a good day. Bye.